Good afternoon, everyone. Here is the Sanibel Police Blotter, dated November 18th, 2022. As Sanibel continues to recover from Hurricane Ian, the Sanibel Police Department is committed to keeping the community safe and secure. To support that effort, a weekly police blotter will be issued on Tuesdays to include real-time information about law enforcement response to criminal activity. On November 13th, a suspect was arrested on an extraditable warrant and driving on a suspended license. The suspect was booked into the Lee County Jail and is waiting extradition. He is a Naples, Florida resident. On November 13th, a suspect was arrested on an active arrest warrant and violation of probation. The suspect was booked into the Lee County Jail for processing and released on the 16th. The suspect is a Fort Myers resident. On November 15th, a suspect was involved in a vehicle crash, a DUI, and he refused to submit for a lawful breath test. The suspect was booked into the Lee County Jail and released the next day on a $5,000 bond. The suspect is a Sanibel resident. On November 16th, a suspect was arrested on battery and burglary. The suspect was booked into the Lee County Jail and released the next day. The suspect is a Fort Myers resident. On November 17th, a suspect was arrested for driving without a license and unregistered vehicle. The suspect was booked into the Lee County Jail and released the same day on a $500 bond. The suspect is a Carrollton, Texas resident. Other enforcement actions. On November 14th, a complainant reported two males on bicycles going door to door soliciting yard cleanup services. Upon arrival, officers made contact with both males who were actively soliciting in the area of Cotton Court and Bunting Lane. Both males were educated in the city ordinance violation and given verbal warning for the offense. Additionally, one misdemeanor summons request is in process. One new search warrant is in process. 29 counterfeit hurricane passes were seized at the checkpoints this week. In cooperation with the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, the Sanibel Police Department is enforcing the prohibition on unlicensed activity. On November 14th, DBPR officials distributed informational packets at the checkpoint and checked approximately 15 job sites. 22 informational door hangers were placed and 2 notices of non-compliance were issued. Here is a summary for the operations statistics from week to date, November 11th through November 17th. There were 11 alarm calls for business and residents. There were 20 911 non-emergency calls, 3 traffic crashes, 37 traffic stops, 371 residential area checks, 117 business area checks, and 814 total CAD calls. Important reminders: the Sanibel residential re-entry hurricane passes are not transferable, meaning you're not supposed to loan it out to a resident, to a non-resident, to a friend, to a worker. They're supposed to be exclusive to each individual who filled out the paperwork for it. Sanibel commercial reentry passes are not transferable. Unauthorized use of passes by individuals other than the contractor to whom a pass was issued will result in immediate revocation of the commercial entry pass. Contractors from whom passes have been revoked will be ineligible to receive new passes. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend, and thanks for listening.